Si yo te digo a ti, yo te digo a ti. Vaya, yo te digo a ti. I'm telling you, hey, okay, enough with the music. Lord bless it. Lord bless it. Listen, we're podcasting. We are streaming live. You know, my mom's apparently on conference call over there. Like I told her earlier, but it's okay. ¿Todo bien, vieja? ¿Todo bien?
Lucy llamando.
It's Lucy, everybody. Lucy's calling my mom. In case anybody was interested, Lucy's calling her. And in case you did not, that's Lucy calling.
Gang right here, right after Lucy and Ricky.
Yep. Yeah. Anybody. So I would do this and you guys got to visualize this, in a white, tight little cocktail dress with blonde hair.
Well, it's got to be a sequined cocktail dress.
No, the one that she did when she did that like that, the hot air steam.
Oh, that's a different thing.
That one. It's Mike Striegel's birthday, everybody, and I'm inspired by Marilyn Monroe singing "Happy Birthday, Mr. President" to John F. Kennedy. So, Mike,
I gotta go through this again.
No, happy birthday, Mike. Did you know it's his birthday? Are you sure? Did you call him?
That's why I got the other cigar.
But did you call him and say, "Hey, Mike, happy birthday"?
No.
Hey, Mike, happy birthday.
Thanks.
Okay, so that got taken care of. Okay, good. For you guys who don't know, it's Mike's birthday, everybody. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mikey. Happy birthday, hey, to you. And I kept my clothing on, so there we go.
Thank God.
You got a whole Van Helsing get up going on. Like
Well, you know.
Well,
I didn't listen. This is just no. It's just anyway. So we all know who this guy is. He's the old fart who now turned 49. Bless his heart. Look at that.
Second oldest one out of the group.
Second oldest one. Mark Came says happy birthday, Mike. And then, of course, immediately to my right hand of God,
the oldest of the group.
Yeah. No, you're the oldest. You're the oldest. You're the oldest.
No, second oldest of the people here, because your mother.
Well, my mom. Well, the old battle axe is here. I mean, my mother's here. James, look at it, from Puerto Rico. Feliz cumpleaños. And Mark says he's still the older. But listen, right here, we got him. He's doing it Irish style, or so I heard. I don't know what the hell that means, but he's doing it Irish style. This is Seamus Tully. What's up?
Piss off.
Or you could piss off, you know.
What do you think you are, in England?
God almighty,
No,
yeah.
it's Irish.
Like,
Actually, Pope Mahone.
Are the Brits attacking you guys again? I mean, Lord, calm down.
No, we'll talk about it.
You don't want to talk about it? Okay, the Brits thing is just we're going to stop it.
Last time I cared about Britain was 1775.
How'd that work out?
Great.
Awesome for us. From what I heard, I read a book once.
Back-to-back World War champs.
We did okay. Yours truly is the cigar consigliere, not Van Helsing. Not Van Helsing. I mean, he had long flowing hair, and there's a shiny spot up there. So
yeah, put that back on your blinded people.
What the hell are you looking for, man? Leave it alone up there.
He was checking his hair in the reflection.
Leave it alone up there. God almighty. And I'm soon to be following in the footsteps of Mike. I'm going to be getting old too soon. I don't know how that's going to happen, but
Dude, you're 20.
I'm a stallion of 20 times 2.5 or something or other.
Something close to that.
Yeah, man. So, guys, first and foremost, okay, well, Steven, I can't pick up the phone. I love you, kiddo. Posible que Steven te llame también, so... like I said, it's okay, ma. No hay problema. Just apaga el teléfono, turn the phone off. So we got some business to deal with today, fellas. Huh? We got some business to take care of today, tonight, this minute.
Okay, producer man, what are we dealing with?
I don't know. Someone said Tyson Jones. What happened?
It was going to be a draw from the beginning.
How do you know? Wait. Now I need some explanation,
It was in
Lucy.
their contract.
It was in the contract that it was going to be a draw.
That if anybody had a cut, they were going to stop the fight, the whole 9 yards. They were not allowed to knock each other out. Or
No, I
nothing.
heard that.
But in the contract, if somebody got a cut above their eye, the fight immediately stopped.
Okay, I saw a couple
Yeah, I
of
heard
comments out there on social media. If you analyze the fight itself, Tyson from the get-go was going full tilt. And I saw round one, and I mean, I pieced it in YouTube and whatnot. Round one, no offense, fella, but Tyson was going to town.
I watched the whole fight.
How'd that work out? Where'd you get it? You pay that? You got that kind of cash? I mean, holy shit.
Yeah, it was not cheap.
Not $50.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go ahead.
But it was well worth it. It was well worth it.
Hey,
The preliminary fights were okay.
Am I wrong in saying that round one, because that's all I got to see, was Tyson was dominant?
It remained the same from round one on.
Yep.
It's exactly how the rest of the fight went.
So one of the things that I read in social media was that if they would have had to judge, it would have gone to Tyson.
Absolutely, no question.
Okay, I'll take 2 cigars from you and 2 cigars. Yeah!
Well, you got one.
Yeah, no, I'm just fucking with you, man.
All right.
But listen, and thank you very much, by the way. The cigars that you brought for the birthday, and we were gonna.
This is before I was told that
you-
we're doing a specific
Well,
thing. We'll get to
we
that.
have a thing going on. We're gonna get to it in a second. But this is actually a fantastic line of cigars. They are local. If you guys have never been to the only cigar factory that is sanctioned, licensed, and operates 100% legitimately in the state of North Carolina, well, guess what? It is in Statesville, and it is called Flor de America Cigars. Thank you for that. This one's yours. I put mine away.
Well,
You got
I
one.
do enjoy their cigars. I've had them on a number of occasions before. I haven't had one in a while, and
You said, let's do it.
Yeah, I walked into. Actually went to a tobacco shop up the street.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I couldn't make it to their actual factory.
Because they close a little bit early.
Yeah.
Yeah. They work
at 4.
They close. They work factory hours.
Mhm.
They literally do. I think it's 7:30 or 8 to 5 on the dot. So
yeah.
they keep those factory hours tight.
But that blend, I don't think I've seen that before.
I don't think I've ever had it.
This is the Habano Maduro that they do. This is their core
Is it a
line.
new band?
It's just a new band.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I saw the original black and red band
Right.
that they had, and then I saw that, and I read it, and I was like, I don't think I've ever seen this cigar before. So I was like, well, we'll try that.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with it. And again, as I said, it's a fantastic small cigar factory. They do retail right there, but it is predominantly created around the premise of a cigar factory. And again, they are the only one. And if anybody doubts this, they have
Google is your friend.
Well, they have the manufacturing certificate licensed and provided by the state of North Carolina that clearly has 5 zeros and a number 1 on it. So,
Get wrecked.
I mean, it doesn't get any more like I'm the only one than that. So,
I mean, unless it's all 5 zeros.
yeah, no, it would have been 6 zeros, but it's 5 zeros and a number 1. So they are the guys, and I love them. Carlos Hiron is the patriarch and the man behind Flor de America Cigars, as is his beautiful mother, Flor Maria Hiron. She's a wonderful lady, fantastic individual, and that's who they named the shop, Flor de America. He means to his mother. So I thought that was really, really always beautiful. And again, and we shared that because
Your mom worked there for a while.
Yeah. My mom was there for 6.5 years, sitting with Carlos, blending, rolling, drinking plenty of coffee, smoking tons of cigars, carousing around, because, that's what they do at that age.
Yeah, that's where I used to get my cigars before you opened.
And and we also shared the fact that we do love our family. We love our mom. So Carlos named his shop after his mom. I named my shop after my mom. Hey, listen, we're like mama's boys here, but there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
The first time I went into their cigar shop factory, it was actually, I had stumbled across it completely. Me and my old buddy Nagi.
Stumble.
Yeah. Me and my buddy Nagi were drinking down at Delaney's.
The new dad.
Yeah.
Got it.
And we said, let's go for a walk down the street. So we're going, and we saw La Flor de America cigars. I'm like, all right, let's go in here and see what this is all about. And I can't remember her name, but she was working the register, and she took us around. She told us everything about the place.
That would have been his daughter, if I'm not mistaken. She works there.
Taller.
Taller.
Yeah.
She speaks fluent English as
yeah.
well. Her name, I think, is also Flor.
Mm-hmm.
She's named after her grandmother. And then, of course, Carlos's wife, she regularly works there. There was another young lady back in the days. I mean, they had a nice group of people.
Also had a guy working there.
That was Chris. I remember Chris.
And every time I went in there, Chris was the one who waited on me.
Yeah, I mean,
again, Carlos waited on me a couple times.
Just a bunch of good people coming together to do what they love and do it well. I honestly, I should have said something for the little thing that we're doing today, but we're gonna enjoy that one. If not today, if not because Saturday, you got things that you have been volunteered. Voluntold. I'm volunteering you and telling you got to do this. So
after I went to Florida America Cigars, me and Nagi and Carol and his wife were walking around still, and we came across your shop. And we had just come from Florida America Cigars, and I think we both bought a couple.
2 years.
Mm-hmm.
August the 15th, fellas, it's been 2 years that Doña Noli Cigars has been here in Statesville. Wow, dude. I mean, tooth and nail, blood, sweat, and tears, the whole shebanga.
You were open BC before COVID.
We were definitely before COVID. I mean, I like that BC.
Well, it's got to be the small BC because the big BC
is
before Christ.
Before Christ.
Yeah.
What's AD mean?
After death.
No. You care to go?
Wait, I was always taught.
No. In Latin, Anno Domini, which means in the year of our Lord. From that point onwards means in the year of our Lord Jesus Christ, year 1, 2, and so on and so forth. But Anno Domini, which means the year of our Lord.
Well, whoever told me that.
They lied!
They were wrong.
As I spit. I'm sorry. I did that.
Well, technically, it does mean after death.
What?
Technically, it does mean after
because
death.
There's 2 periods. There's an A period and a D period.
Anno Domini, which is the periods are for the abbreviation AD.
Oh, okay.
Not after death. It's.
But if you go.
Okay, guy. After death, yes, you non-damn Catholics. You're Irish. You should be like a good Catholic boy. Or maybe
we gotta talk about that too.
Yeah, we've mentioned that. He's like, Anyway, so Mike, it's his birthday. Happy birthday, Mike.
Thank you.
It's not a lot, but this is for you.
Oh. Wait, no bow?
I'll take it back. There you go. Smoking in good health, my man.
He's gonna smoke them all at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Put a cone on the end and
I'd have to fashion something to do that. Yeah.
So
if you do, I want to see that.
That and a flamethrower.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that, Mikey. Don't do that. So it's a small token because for these guys, there's nothing I could ever do to repay them. First and foremost, for who they are, what they've done here in this shop is incalculable. So. It's a little bundle, 25 cigars in the Robusto
very good blend.
Thank you very much of the Doña Noli Premium House Blend. So if you guys are interested, it is on the website and look, it's there. It's scrolling. But there's a couple of ulterior motives here. There's some ulterior motives, to the size of the bundle. To what we're smoking today. We are smoking also a Robusto size.
You got a Robusto bundle?
Yeah, that's a Robusto bundle.
Because this is a Robusto size.
Yeah.
Are you saying that the bundle is Robusto?
Yeah, the bundle is all.
It's a Robusto bundle.
Comprised of the size of cigars Robusto.
You missed the joke.
I completely. It's okay, man. It's okay. I've missed many things in my life. It's not going to be the first time. So, explain the joke.
No, because that's not funny.
No, that's not
funny. Matter now.
Doesn't matter now.
If you got
Did you get it? Did you get it? I didn't get it either. I have no idea where he was going with that. Anyways.
All right, piss off all of you.
But pissed off to the two of us. So we three are smoking a 5x50 classic size Robusto, and it's in a Maduro wrapper. So before I get to that one, which there's a fun little anecdote and whatnot, want to show you guys on screen.
We're gonna be here all night.
No. This is going to be a little bit about, like,
this is the educational part. Get your pen and paper out, take notes.
we've sort of touched upon some of these things tonight, but it's interesting because yesterday I got some really, really great comments and some amazing stuff back and forth with some folks and everything, and I loved it. This actually here, let me see if I can, let me see, switch over to this one. There you go. No, come on. There you go. So that's it. Okay, so that screen right now. See, look at that. I just learned how to do that too. But it's not cool. I learned how to do that. So this.
So what 8th grader taught you how to do that?
Not yet. No. So this screen right here shows what I posted in social media yesterday, which was just a fun, Cigar 101 comments to, kind of like see where people are at. What do they know? What do they believe themselves to be? How do they call themselves?
Oh, is this like the change my mind segment? Where
No. This is where he becomes the professor.
Sort of.
And we're all sitting in a lecture.
Sort of.
Half of us are going to be asleep.
Maybe. I've been known to pinch a little bit here and there to keep people awake. So let me see here real quick. Let me do it maybe so like that everybody can see a little bit better. There you go. So it was something fun that I posted on all different social media portals. It said, "Are you a cigar aficionado or a cigar connoisseur? Tell me which one," and no Google allowed. And by that I meant people trying to find out what the definition of it was and whatnot.
That means they would have had to have watched your thing on Monday. Where you explained it. Yes,
that's also another great one. Thank you very much, Mike. I didn't even think about that. But again, like I said, it was just something for fun, nothing crazy. I just wanted to see what it was that people's ideas were.
This is not a pop quiz?
No, there's going to be no pop quiz.
Thank God.
None of that good stuff. So it's just fun, interactive stuff. Then we got a lot of comments. I mean, we got comments that there are folks who were saying, well, after I explained in a follow-up video that a cigar aficionado, in Spanish aficionado, means literally that you are a fan of, could be anything. You're a fan of sports. You're a fan of cigars. You're a fan of whatever, cars, bikes, all of that stuff. But that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm a huge fan of bikes. I love bikes, as you guys know. I mean, I really do love bikes.
But you know nothing about it.
I just don't know anything. Like I said, I just don't know anything about the bikes, and that is something that I got no problem with. But I love bikes. I like seeing the beauty of them. People enjoying themselves on it, going to the events that we have been to. A lot of fun. Huge fan of cars. Love all that stuff. The drag strip. You guys were telling me
64 boat tail.
So yes, boat tails left and right all over the place. But I'm not knowledgeable enough to,
You couldn't identify a boat tail if your life depended on it.
No, I mean I know what a boat is. Obviously, thank God it's on water, right?
I know a lot about cars. I can look at the headlights and tell you exactly which way it's coming.
Yes, and the tail lights, which way it's going. But see, I use myself as when it comes to the word aficionado, that means that you are, in my opinion, an aficionado in the art of pinstriping. You're learning. You're a fan of it. You want to learn more about it. You are experimenting. You're dabbling with it. And I've seen your hand has gotten way better since you started some months ago.
Yeah, about the beginning of this year.
So basically, it's a person who is learning and getting. Kevin Carbley, what's going on, brother? All the best to you and yours. Thank you very much for watching. So an aficionado is basically, again, the literal translation, Merriam-Webster's, and again, I did the research, and it's a Spanish word. So the origin word is aficionado, means a fan, un fanático, a person who enjoys something, but may not necessarily be in that.
We should start our own magazine, like Cigar Aficionado, but it's going to be
Cigar Idiots?
Well, I was going to say, Me Gusta Tobaccos.
Me Gusta Tobaccos. There is one. It's porno though, but it's used down in Central America. Loads of followers on that one. Me Gusta Tobacco.
Okay.
But
really?
Yeah, not really. I just made that up. Yeah.
That's a little weird, but all right.
But and then
What do they do with the cigars?
that's the part that becomes porno. That level of like, oh,
Is Bill Clinton involved?
It could be. Could be a new
there's
way of
Clinton
storing them.
money. There's Clinton money behind it. So that's again, aficionado basically means you're a fan of, you are a person who enjoys it, dabbles and has a good time with it, but you're not an expert. You're not a person who lives that particular lifestyle from beginning to end.
So an aficionado would be somebody who's a fan of it.
Like you guys are
Unlike-
aficionados. You guys are
Unlike
aficionados.
Hugh Hefner, who lived the Playboy
Oh no,
lifestyle.
yeah, he was all in. He was
a
all
female
in.
aficionado?
Yeah, big time. So the second word was, of course, right there, cigar connoisseur. And let me see again. There you go, guys. That's like so cigar aficionado or a cigar connoisseur. Like in other words, which one are you? So the word connoisseur is again a little bit more of that cigar 101 stuff. So the word connoisseur is French, but it derives from the Spanish word conocer, which means to know. A connoisseur of anything is a person who literally is a very well-versed, very knowledgeable educator in whatever he is involved with. So he has to literally know from the dirt to the final product enough that he can be considered to be a connoisseur of cigars, if you will. There's a lot of leeway between the two words, a lot. And there's also a lot of confusion. I've heard it used both ways. Like, folks saying that they are a cigar aficionado with the intention of explaining or coming across as like, hey, I'm a really knowledgeable, I'm a beast at this, blah, 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 blah. And then folks literally just saying, no, man, I'm just a connoisseur. I'm just a connoisseur. So that says that they're downplaying that word, which means that means if you're a connoisseur, it means you are really that next level. You know your
So
shit.
people confuse the two words sometimes.
Correct. So again, that was sort of like what I was doing yesterday. We had some interesting other terminologies that popped up, and this is what I wanted you guys to give me your input on. I had two fantastic guys that went into it, and I really want to just bring them. I want to bring the commentary up, which I thought was really, really excellent. I'm going to go ahead and navigate there now real quick before I put it up. But the terminology that I heard was cigar educator and cigar influencer. Very unique approach. I had never...
Cigar gentleman.
And and we've been called gentlemen many times when people really don't know. Bless their hearts. But cigar educator and cigar influencer. I was like, holy Moses! I've never quite, I think, heard those phrases in any of the shops that I was in.
A cigar influencer would be somebody who would push people in a direction towards a certain cigar or cigar shop, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good man. I like where you're going with that.
Paid advertisement.
In a way, yeah.
Let me see here if I can find the one from yesterday, because we have some great, and I mean really great commentaries. Here we go. I'm going to bring this right back up. Let me see here, and then we can kind of like click on that. So I've heard what you guys said. I agree with what you guys are saying. If I may, let me just give you guys my sort of interpretation of what both are to me.
Okay.
So let's say a cigar educator. I expect my tobacconist or the person who runs the humidor to sort of be educated enough in what he does in there to be able to educate me in my cigar choices and what I'm looking for. Like, when you walk into a cigar shop anywhere, you would like that if you have doubts, if you have questions, that person in charge of the humidor or the cigar sales, if you will,
right,
to be able to answer those questions and be able to take care of them 100% for you.
Now,
does that feel like what a cigar educator should be?
Yeah, but that could also take the place of a connoisseur.
in a way.
Right. Which I'm with you on that one.
They're almost interchangeable.
They are the person that I would expect to be more like on the lines of like that connoisseur, that very knowledgeable individual. So it's synonymous, I would dare say,
Yeah.
to a certain degree,
Mhm.
a cigar educator to a cigar connoisseur. They have to study what they're doing. They have to know it. They have to be able to translate that and educate, as well as showcase that they are the person that is the best qualified to talk about that and to help in that realm.
But that could be even used for people in the whatever job they do.
Mm-hmm. I agree. It can be interpreted. You can be a fire sprinkler educator. You can be
Correct.
a fire sprinkler connoisseur, whatever it is.
Right.
It'd be a little weird.
I know, right?
Connoisseur.
Fire spiller, yeah.
But listen, there's crazy stuff out there.
Your cigar's on fire.
Yes.
Well, it's supposed to be on fire.
Well, not flaming, but
Hey, I am not flaming.
your cigar is.
Yeah, okay, well, the cigar. So that was good that you guys said that, and I like that. The other expression, cigar influencer. Now, what do you guys believe? Because influencer right now is big with social media and networking.
That's what I would associate.
That's sort of what you're getting.
That term with, yeah.
Okay. Seamus, anything from you, my man?
About what?
Well, about what the terminology, what you feel influencer would be, and whatnot.
I really hate that term.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you.
Especially the fact that particularly or predominantly females are social media influencers when they're really just women in skimpy clothing.
Okay, so in other words, they're selling.
They're basically salespeople.
Okay, so
Cleavage peddlers.
an influencer could be a salesperson. Let me see here. I got two great guys that waded in on this, and yeah, they waded in. I mean,
How far did they wade in on it?
Asshole deep.
Pretty
Chest
good, or semi chest deep. Not a problem. I'm just gonna find it here real quick.
Was it cold when they waded in?
No, it was actually lukewarm and quite enjoyable from my understanding of it. Let me see here. Gosh almighty. And again, sorry guys, I'm not, as you guys know, I'm not that.
I thought you were a good producer and you'd have this stuff up and running.
Yeah, tell me about it. Yeah, that's just not happening on that level.
Are we making enough money to get a producer? We're up to
Not
what,
at all.
$1.60?
Not at all.
I mean, we
wish.
could find a volunteer producer.
Yeah.
I wish, man. We need to be making that kind of cash flow here. It's around here somewhere. Okay, so I'll give you guys in the meantime an influencer to me.
Why don't you paraphrase what they say?
Negative. I'm a meat popsicle.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
fifth element.
Yeah, I'm trying. I mean, I had unless it was taken down, which if it was,
Probably.
why anybody would?
Because Facebook.
There it is. There is. It's not. It's actually fantastic. So there we go. So really good. Let's see here if I can bring this up. So I'm gonna post a couple of things right on the screen. So you guys can. So two great guys, great guys.
Both of them.
Kevin Shahan, who has actually watched us and he's been on the show before, and he invited me to be on his show, which is he's a fantastic individual. And Steve Saka, which to me is one of the icons of this industry, weighted in on this subject, which I thought was really, really great.
Master blender, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, no, the guy is mythical when it comes to like the stuff.
The wizard.
Yeah, I mean it's like literally sparks fly out of him and stuff like that. So right here, I'm gonna see if I can bring it up a little bit for you guys. So I can make this a little bit bigger, so we can kind of
Muy grande.
muy grande. Okay, I guess that's a little too grande right there.
Yeah, what the heck are you doing?
Too grande. I see. Can we bring it back? Oh, look at that. We brought it back. Okay, I think that's good.
Right. The audience squint real hard so you can see it.
So Kevin Shahan says he considers himself a cigar influencer. Now, I believe that terminology around him fits perfectly because he is very social media strong. So when he smokes a cigar and he's doing his shows, and he is projecting that.
Is he a rep for any brand?
Nope.
Or is he,
No.
okay.
He's kind of like
A reviewer.
a lover of cigars.
Okay.
So
like we three jolly morons.
kind of, but he does it, I think, on a different
But
level.
he's got a whole lot more followers than we
he's
do.
got thousands and thousands of followers. So what I believe his statement to have been is 100% correct. I mean, because what people see him doing, he's a popular guy. He's like, again, like what are the Joneses doing?
So he's won the popularity contest, which makes him a influencer.
Correct. Right. So he's got that. So what he's smoking, his followers, we want to smoke, and by de facto, we want to buy from that company that he's smoking from, or that brand that he's smoking. So that is a influencer, in my opinion.
Well, that also goes along with all of the social media influencers.
Correct.
Because whatever they want, be it makeup, nails, whatever, people are going to go buy.
Yeah, someone, a great guy, Mark Williams, who is the general manager of Davidoff of Geneva Lounge in Tampa. It's a Corona branded cigar. So he also claims that he is a little bit of an aficionado and an influencer in his position. He says he smokes way too many cigars to be a connoisseur. In that one, I'm a little bit, tossed up, because his position, I would consider him a great educator, a connoisseur, a man who understands the dynamics of what he is talking to people about. And so, hey, Kevin Thompson, where are you at, man? I haven't seen you in forever and a day. All the best to you. Freedom Work. And Marco, man, let me tell you, you started something on Saturday, and I've been following through with it right now. I put some great stuff up. Social media, we've been getting some fantastic feedback on it. So I hope you guys are sharing. Please share, subscribe, do everything you can to keep supporting us non-influencers.
Mm-hmm.
We're not even at that level.
No, we
But,
don't have followers.
When you got a guy who is like, the main man at a distinguished cigar lounge, branded Davidoff of Geneva in Tampa, stunning 2-story location, beautiful. I don't think he necessarily falls under the aficionado criteria. He's more of a connoisseur because then he knows his stuff. I mean, he can educate a person on pretty much what he's got going on there. So I may or may not agree with Mark Williams, but other than that, again, it's just opinions, and that's all that it is.
Well, you know what opinions are like.
Absolutely. So here we go, and then I replied back that I was interested in listening to what they were saying. So Curry Viajante, my main man, my brother from South Carolina, said, I'd say you're more of a cigar educator in reference to Kevin Shahan. And that's sort of where I begin to distance myself from that. I know Kevin is an excellent cigar person, very knowledgeable, but I beg to differ on that one. I think he is an influencer. He guides the trends.
KT might have got the yuck.
Lord. Stay safe. Take care of yourself. I'll see you in 2 weeks. Get the hell away from me, Satan.
Mm.
There. I meant that nicely. As a good Catholic, get the hell away from me.
What was that? Bubble boy.
Yeah, get in the bubble, boy. Get in the bubble. So, again, that's sort of like where I would, going back to this, I don't think Kevin Shahan is a connoisseur on that level, which would make him an educator. I think he's a great influencer. He's a fantastic influencer. He's a phenomenal fan of the lifestyle. He has had some amazing people on his show. He's met a ton of great people who are in the industry, but you've got to be doing it day in and day out. That's the way I approach it.
So it's like it's a job.
Exactly. So I get it. A lot. He's doing the social media stuff, but that is not being in the cigar industry. That is not being a tobacconist. That is not being a person who understands the pH balance of the soil and the seeds that are going in. So I respect him highly, but I don't believe him to be an educator in the way that Kerry Viajante may be explaining that or may have been saying that.
Mm.
And I even said, Kerry, I like where you're going with this. What do you believe makes a good cigar educator as opposed to a cigar influencer? So I wanted to know more about that. And Kevin, of course, said, Duncan, a cigar educator can school you about a cigar influencer can school you about a company. And again, I beg to differ. On that
I
one.
think both of them can do both.
I agree wholeheartedly. An educator has to understand the dynamic of what he's educating, the meat behind what he's talking, and he's got to be able to guide a person with, if they want that information, great. If they don't, that's okay too.
So an influencer can be anyone from a good-looking person that
To a schmuck like me.
Well, a good-looking person specifically for the advertising aspect of it.
Yeah.
So, like, you see a beautiful woman smoking a cigar, it's more appealing to the male.
Right.
And when you see a handsome man smoking a cigar, it's more appealing to females that may smoke.
Have you ever heard of a cigar vixen?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you heard?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've not only heard, I've known cigar vixen for years now.
Right.
Stunning, beautiful, a cigar influencer.
It's a different aspect when you find, like, if you look at cigar smokers, that predominantly men, and then when you see a female that smokes, not that there's anything wrong with that, but it's a different aspect. It's like, oh, like, she smokes. It's interesting. It's like, if you were to look at a female that did anything that's predominantly male, whether it's racing or football or something like that,
Firefighter.
Right. It's like, oh, it's not the norm, so you pay attention a little bit more.
I get what you're saying with that, but in this case, again, I'm also going to slightly not agree on that one, and I'll tell you why. I've known many women who are dominant in this industry, but they eat, breathe, live it. Which,
well, I'm not saying that they can't be, but it's just
it's not the standard or the normal.
Yeah.
Right.
So people pay attention a little bit more.
Right.
I find interesting that that also we always relate looks even in this industry. Marco novelty factor. We're still relating a look, an attractiveness.
No, if they knew the look that was behind these sunglasses.
To this, because I say women in general, and a lot of times I don't know if you guys know this, but there is an actual number that literally shows that the highest demographic per capita on the rise is women cigar smokers against men. How interesting is that? A lot of guys don't know that. So, is it because other women who are strong, self-assured, attractive, all the other pluses are smoking cigars, and so other women want to do that? Or is it because women are breaking into a quote-unquote male-dominated country club or backroom area and say, no, we're just like you guys? Who knows? But
it could be a combination of the two.
Exactly. But I go back to the terminologies: influencer, educator, aficionado, connoisseur. An aficionado is a fan. It's a fan of the lifestyle. It's a fan of whatever that you want to pick. It's a fan. Connoisseur is like a wine connoisseur. You got guys who can tell you the damn soil, based on the grape and whatnot. So,
Nerds.
Exactly. They are wine nerds. An educator falls into the criteria. To me, you may not necessarily be a connoisseur, but you're going to be almost the next best thing to that, to help in the process of educating your customer base towards their cigar purchases. And then the influencer is like me. I would like to say I'm an influencer, but I don't think that my numbers speak it, and I got no problem with that. But
influencers are usually more sales, more like a salesman, or a salesperson, rather than anything else.
It's like advertising.
Yeah, it's
now
a form of
you
advertising.
can be extremely knowledgeable about what you're advertising.
Right.
They're not necessarily selling, because if you're not like a rep or a shop owner, but
Well, to be a good salesperson, you have to be
knowledgeable.
So you have to at least be an aficionado of it.
I mean, if you're trying to be an influencer about, we'll say, cigars, you can't say, you should, like, I like this cigar because it's, round and long and made of tobacco. Right?
That's usually why I like them. I mean, I don't know about you guys.
But I mean,
color has nothing to do with it.
It was round. There was tobacco. I said, light that son of a bitch up.
What I mean by that is, like, you can't have a very small amount of knowledge about it. Like, I know what it looks like, so therefore I'm going to try and tell people they should, buy this or whatever.
I agree.
You have to have a little bit more than that.
Yeah.
So
now you don't have to know the soil it came from, but anywhere in that range where, like, I like that Flor de America cigar.
Yeah, I mean, and again, I'm so with you. That's why when you ask me, I mean, I know intrinsically the blends because I worked there, my mom worked there, so there's pretty much nothing that I would know on the same level as Carlos, having sat side by side with him, trained with him, worked with him. So I understand what he does.
That makes you a connoisseur.
To me, well, and you know what, an appreciator, if that's even a damn word, of the fine art of beautiful cigar making. I appreciate that so much. Kevin came back with a fantastic example of something which I think there was actually a back and forth real quick, which really makes sense. And hopefully it will make sense to you guys. He said basically, Duncan, someone may come up to an educator and ask about a particular cigar from Dumbarton Tobacco and Trust, so DTT, which is owned by Steve Saka. The educator can teach you all about any cigar that Steve may make, blend factory, etc. As an influencer, I can tell you about Steve. I can tell you stories about him that will make you want to buy his cigars because of how much of a great guy he is and how dedicated to the industry he is. And during the conversation, we may never talk about the cigars, but you will leave the conversation wanting to smoke the cigars, which again, I do understand that. He is, as an influencer, he's guiding you to make the decision.
Right, guiding you towards a certain purchase.
Influencing.
Right.
That's sort of how I look at that word, so good influence, bad influence, like, moms, you say, oh, be careful with those boys, they're bad influence, kind of crap like that. So
those are all of my friends.
And you're okay with that? Okay, so we're great, but he's got bad friends. But the interesting idea behind that is that you're still guiding to create the hope of a purchase or something or other, and again, you're influencing a decision. You're not there in the trenches. You're not in the trenches. You're not the guy who is working that cigar shop. You're not the guy who is in that humidor. You're not the guy who is balancing what moves and what doesn't move. An influencer, particularly in social media, is a person who also is, what am I going to get to influence others to go buy your product? So there is a quid pro quo.
Yes. And
I've seen that in all of social media influencing. YouTube has a payout. Instagram, the same thing. Everything can be monetized.
A lot of these influencers get free stuff too.
And Grant Eagle, hey, y'all been smoking for 20 years, but still not smart about them. I know what I like. My man, you know what? And that's a great, honest, pure statement. And I love that. Grant Eagle actually was my former rep for Full Throttle Magazine, which is the premier biker magazine in, I think, 5 or 6 states or something like that. They're amazing. So he made that great anecdote about going back to Kevin Shannon, about Steve Saka. Now, unbeknownst to him, and it's funny because I had my buddy Kerry and also Steve Saka waded in on this one as well. I said, funny story. A few years ago, and obviously we're going to make this a little bit bigger for you guys. You're more welcome to read some of it as I go. A few years ago, I ran a cigar shop's humidor in South Carolina. During my tenure there, I was asked by an enormous amount of people to please bring in Dumbarton Tobacco and Trust, DTT. My answer was a simple one, an honest one, and I'm gonna go right now, basically on here. It simply was as follows. Obviously, when I have smoked it and have done my research on it, I will bring it in. Steve Saka and his near mythic reputation as a phenomenal talent in our industry, which is very accurate, very true, was important, which it was, in the decision-making process of bringing in his cigars. But it was always second to his cigars. His cigars spoke volumes to the talent that he has. His cigars could tell me everything I needed to know about the man. There was integrity, honesty, care, understanding, attention to detail, history, and story. All the things that possibly Steve could have told me about himself, but his cigars told me all of those things. When I had the pleasure of meeting him at an event, I honestly think I may have condensed my talking time with him was like 15 minutes. That's about as much as I got with him. I just listened to him. The man's brilliant. The man's a damn beast at what he does. So, do I talk a lot? Nonstop. Mm-hmm. I shut my ass up and I was listening to him. I never once sold anyone on who Steve Saka is or was. I simply told everybody to smoke his cigars. They said everything about the man. I have done this for 20 years. That's the exact format I follow. And to be brutally honest, I respect and understand the usage of the word influence in this age of social networking. Regretfully, but I stand by it. It is a word that I abstain from because when you refer to cigars, I don't like it. I simply invite people to smoke and enjoy what they enjoy. I could never influence anyone. And again, as I said earlier, after all, there's good influence and bad influences out there. So that's sort of my approach to that back and forth dialogue. I know that if you walk into a place, you want to talk to somebody who knows a little bit, particularly if it's a tobacco shop or a nice cigar shop, and you don't know. You may not know, but you know what you like, you know. And it's happened to a ton of people throughout my career. I've seen good cigar-loving people, aficionados, walk into their favorite shops or hopefully a shop that will be their favorite, and they don't know what they're doing, and then they're ignored. Tobacconists don't talk to them. They feel maybe that if they ask the wrong questions, they're going to be laughed at or made fun of or whatnot. You know, so to all tobacconists, it is your role and your responsibility to be a little bit of an educator. Step up, and even though you may not be a connoisseur, tell them that you are a true fan, a true lover, a true dedicated employee of the cigar industry that can help them.
Well, too often, a lot of people they'll attain a certain level where they've either been working somewhere for a long time or they've been doing something for a long time where they completely forget that at one point they knew absolutely zero about what it is they're doing. Mm-hmm. And then when someone like me walks in and say, hey, can you help me find this? They're like, it's over there next to this. I'm like, hang on, motherfucker.
In that terminology, too, if I know you as
you know how many times I've walked out of places like, cool, keep it, and left.
Yeah, I listen, been there, done it. Yeah. Don't even flinch about it. I don't. I go, how can you work in the industry that I have come to love, adore, and spend so much of my life in, and you don't even have the wherewithal to talk to me a little bit about what's going on in here? No, man, no, hail to the no. Steve Saka jumped in on this one, and thank you, Steve. I appreciate your words more than you'll ever know. To me, I met you once, man. Mythic, amazing, awesome. He said, Duncan Echeverria, too kind. Thank you. No, thank you, sir. And he says, I am a believer in being an educator, but even a bigger believer in the community of cigars. from the farmer to the consumer and all the people in between and to the tapestry of cigars. And that is what makes it far, let me see here.
Hit Seymour.
Hit Seymour. Damn you, Seymour. Far more than just a consumable commodity. So this is not me now. That's that man who's been doing this a shit ton longer than I have, said he believes in the educators, but he believes above all else in the community. You know, the people from the soil all the way to those who are working the front lines. And I love that about him. I mean, it was just awesome. Awesome. So it was just an interesting dialogue between an influencer, a master of his craft, and your humble servant who is a complete moron when it comes to a lot of things. But I've seen that all over the place, man, in the years that I've been working in this industry. Folks confusing titles, if you will, which I'm not a fan of titles. I don't give a shit if you're an aficionado or a connoisseur or an educator or an influencer. So long as you're holding one of these in your hands, man, you're my buddy. You're my pal. Mm-hmm. You know, just don't project something upon me or you know, I don't give a rat's ass, you know, about all that stuff. This is what's gonna sit us down. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna just chill and have a fantastic moment. This is me. This is my infinitesimal 2 cents worth. You okay? I mean,
sounds good.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, he seems so you know, like we're strong silence. I'm ready to like slice somebody's throat.
You're closer.
Yeah, and it is your birthday. He'll probably forgive you on it. So again, I know it's a lot, guys, and I don't mean to, you know, get that, you know, kind of crazy and stuff. Like, look, I'm covering Mike's face. Mike, I'm sorry.
Mike who?
About covering your face. So there we go. We're back. So it's interesting. Stuff like that, you know, just stuff like that. You walk in places, you know, I'm an aficionado. I'm looking at you. You're a fucking idiot.
I think once you've gained.
I don't really say that, but I think you're really deep.
No, I'll tell you about it to your face. But I think once you've gained that much knowledge, it's your obligation to impart that on other people. Like, I mean, you don't even have to work at a certain place. Like, you could be in any store or whatever, or any job, and someone's like, oh, I really wish I could find this. You could just say, hey, you know, if you can't find this, try that. Or they're over there, you know, look next to this. And I mean, that goes so much farther than over there.
Can you imagine going to O'Reilly's, telling the guy, what are those funny stories? Hey, I want a windshield wiper. And the guy's telling you about hubcaps. You're like, what? That would happen to me, because if he told me about hubcaps, I'd probably be like, oh, okay, yeah, I need apparently hubcaps. Because I don't know shit about cars, but I've heard horror stories about people walking into places where the person behind the counter, where I'm not asking him to be like, you know, like a rocket operator, you know, or like a brain or like a brain sturgeon, whatever, you know. And sturgeon is a fish, but brain sturgeon. Anyways, like he might be. Anyways, so I don't want that guy to be all of that, but I want the guy to know some shit, man.
There's
like where to find your blinker fluid.
You gotta have blinker fluid. If you don't, and you're fresh out, O'Reilly's is doing a sale on blinker fluids.
There's a really funny meme where there's a
don't laugh.
There's a guy at an O'Reilly's, and he's
is there blinker fluid? Is that like a thing? It's not. Okay. Well, fuck you, Mikey. I hate you.
Later on, I'll teach you how to get an exhaust sample.
Okay, so thank you.
Anyway, there's a guy.
Yeah.
They're not really, but there's a guy who had pushed the clerk at the O'Reilly aside and got on the computer himself because the dude that was working there couldn't find the part.
Well, I'm good friends with the regional manager of O'Reilly's. If I heard about that shit happening here, Jason would cut that mother off real quick. Like, you know, you're fired. Mm-hmm. You know, but again, I go back to it. We're so hung up on stupid titles. I mean, we truly are hung up on like these, you know, oh, I'm a this, I'm a that. Man, you know, let it all go, brother. Let it all go. And if you don't know, just don't blurt it out. Don't. There's no need for that.
Now, is that worse when you think you know something and you're completely like way off. Like if I were to say that this wrapper is a Connecticut as opposed to a Maduro, like, oh yeah, it's a Connecticut.
Well,
you look like an idiot.
No, I'll tell you what. I've
I mean,
seen
there's
that.
people that are so like,
But
up their own ass.
I've been in situations like that. I'm not okay. So this, it is marked as a Maduro. Okay, so this cigar. Now this is also a Maduro.
But that's an Oscuro.
Correct. So there's different variations
Levels to this.
on color. This is not called an Oscuro though. It is here's only this is called a Maduro on the nomenclature, the wrapper. There's levels. Oscuro tends to be the darkest shade of Maduro. This is a Habano Maduro. So again, this is one of the darkest colorations that this particular wrapper can achieve in its maturation process, in the time that it's maturing. So, but it's a fantastic, beautiful interpretation of a Maduro. I'm looking right now for the other fun little meme, and then we're gonna wrap it up real quick because again, we got stuff to do and everything. It's Mike's birthday. He's gonna tie one on tonight at Red Buffalo. Red Buffalo. This segment not sponsored by Red Buffalo, but if you see Mike there, for God's sakes, buy him a beer today. It's his birthday. Jesus Lord,
I was hatched on this day.
You were hatched. God Almighty, you were hatchling.
Yeah.
Years ago, you were hatchling.
Yes.
The anniversary of my summoning is in January.
Your son, God Almighty! I don't even want to know what's going to happen. What temple, what pillars are going to be shooting?
I'm going to need you to be there.
I'm not going to be there for shit. I am not going to be there for anything.
You got to bring goat's blood too.
Yeah, no, no, I'm good. There'll be no bringing of the goat's blood at all. No.
Mom, we're going to sacrifice a squirrel.
Yeah, well, if we do,
we're going to find a rabbit.
Squirrels too. A little squirrels too. All right, so here's another fun one. I had this, let me add it on. So let's do this one real quick. So this is a fun one right here, a little fun one. What's correct? Am I smoking a Robusto Maduro or a Robust Maduro? And as I said, it's a bit of a trick question. A bit of a trick question.
They're the same thing.
Not all the time.
Now, again, keep in mind, am I smoking a Robusto Maduro or a Robust Maduro?
Robust would mean the flavor profile or the smoke.
Same thing that Robusto means.
No.
Robusto is the size.
Yes, so that's what I wanted. That's what I was looking for.
Robust Robusto.
Yeah, spot on.
Right.
Trick, fun question. That's all that it was. I'm gonna blow it up one more time. What's correct? Am I smoking a Robusto Maduro or a Robust Maduro? And you nailed it. A bunch of other guys also got it. They nailed it. Hey, what's going on, Michael Carter? The man, the myth, the legend himself. Big old set. Well, you're not big. I mean, at least I'm not going to get into that one. But still sexy Michael Carter at his venerable age of 92 years old. You're not that old, Mike. You're not that old.
He would know that, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he would.
Okay.
So again, let's do this.
Would he be a connoisseur of himself?
He's a fan.
Oh.
He's a fan of it. I'm a diehard fan of everything.
Mm-hmm.
So this cigar that we started smoking today is a Robusto size Maduro.
Okay.
Now my question to you is, would you consider this a Robust Maduro?
I would.
So it's full body, full flavor. It's got everything you're looking for in a nice Maduro.
Yeah.
Okay, so there is the same in one and the other right there, because he is referring to the Robusto size cigar that happens to be in a Maduro wrapper. And when asked if his cigar had robust, rich Maduro flavors, which are usually, the darker leathers, the heavy woods, those cocoa notes, espressos, the very rich, well-aged tobacco notes. And you said pretty much yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Now, asking you the same question, do you think that your Robusto in a Maduro is a robust Maduro?
I would say no. It does have good smoke output, but the notes are a little lighter than I would put against another.
For example, because you do enjoy smoking a very heavy, even more stronger, more fuller bodied style of cigar smoke.
Like the cane blows us out.
Okay, so there you go. That makes perfect sense. So again, just so everybody understands that this was the question again, and it just says right there, it's a trick question. You gotta sometimes think it through, and the answer's staring you right in the face. Mike, not to pinpoint this, but you said no because you did not know that Robusto was the size, and that's okay.
Right.
A lot of times that happens, and also a Robusto Maduro. The final trick there is that's actually in all Spanish. So if I was asking, ¿Qué te gusta a ti? Un Robusto Maduro? I'm asking, what do you like? A Robusto and a Maduro? Perfect use of the words in Spanish, but in English, because you're still utilizing the size and the blend or the wrapper, it also can affect you. Because a lot of times
it can get confusing.
Yeah, and I've heard, the prototypical guys saying,
it would be a little weird saying it's a robust ripe.
well, you get that, I don't smoke those Maduros because they're so strong,
They can be. But then again, Connecticut broadleaf can be more.
There's a plethora of different forms and styles of getting that cigar to be very intense. I have smoked very light, creamy looking cigars on the outside that have said, "How are you doing, Susie Q?" And I was like, wow. 20 minutes into the cigar, I'm like, I'm gonna need to slow this shit down and pace myself. Or soon after I finish the cigar, like 20, 30 minutes later, and I know you've had a couple that have you're like, oh man, you know what?
Actually, one of them that got a hold of me, and I don't know if it was because I was smoking it too fast or if I.
Well, you do smoke fast. I have seen that. I mean,
I got
sometimes.
But I had Esteban Carreras.
Was it a Brownstone or what? Chupacabra or
no? It was
the Brownstone.
I know which one it is. The one that was the aged in the rum barrels.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I forgot it.
Yeah. So.
Revelation, Triolation, some weird name,
So,
Vengeance or whatever. But
that one, I remember very specifically sitting in my truck at the job site, and I was like I started to get dizzy and I started to sweat, and I was like, whoa. But then again, there was that one time when we were in the bunker. I forget what it was we were smoking, but I remember
it hit you.
Yeah, I remember at the beginning. I was like, okay, this isn't too bad. It's not too heavy, but it's medium. And then at the very end of the show, I started to get the sweats, and I was like, oh boy,
I gotta make it. I remember that.
Well, that could also be if you're smoking on a full stomach or not full stomach or something like
after
that. After
taking a pre-workout,
that'll work too.
Yeah. Well, that's sort of something that I really, before we close out, I wanted to just going full circle. A lot of that is falls on when you guys go, buy your cigars, or whether it's at your local place or a new place. Unforgiven. Thank you, Marco. I see. I knew it's one of those days. Unforgiven.
Which is a very good cigar.
Yeah. It's a beautifully well done cigar. Like Marco, if you guys don't understand this, I'm so glad he's there. Marco is a cigar tender at Casa de Monte Cristo. I like that place. From day one that I went in there, you could tell sometimes by the way a person carries themselves. And when you're a fighter, who might know. When you walk into a room, don't you sometimes analyze, okay, that guy, maybe this or that? Well, being in this industry, I look for certain things when I walk into a cigar shop. Marco exemplified that. You could tell this guy was enjoying his cigar, the way he stood, the relaxedness of him. Just everything about it. I said, you know what, man, this motherfucker knows his shit.
It wasn't posing.
And that's who I wanted to talk to. I know the staff, Donna Casa Monte Cristo, Joanna is a fantastic lady, Sharon, David, Marco, Rick. I mean, all the people that I've ever met there, and they all, to one extent or another, exemplify that they want to help you. They want to make sure that, whatever you, but again, Marco, not because you're watching, brother, but, you had that, as the French would say, joie de vivre. No idea what the hell that means, but apparently you had that. I don't know.
You might want to get that checked out.
Yeah, and if you do have that,
That's
just
why weave hurts.
just keep it away from me because I don't know any of that shit. But he's one of those he knows his shit. We could talk back and forth cigars like idiot nerds all day long, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he is a person that I would count on to educate me. Mm-hmm. Hey, I don't know about this particular cigar. He gave me a couple of samples, which, by the way, I'm going to share with you guys.
Oh boy.
It is a cigar line that he believes strongly in. They are doing their thing. I forgot what the hell it's called. Something Viking, but I love American Vikings. Yeah.
Yeah, I have those.
So you found them?
Well, you remember when?
This past Saturday?
Yeah.
That's right. Yes, that's right. He hooked you up. Okay, so have you had a chance to smoke any of them?
I had the Rico Barado, and I had.
Don't say shit. We want to smoke them together. Okay, you like it? Okay. So, I mean, I loved hearing him talk about it. I mean, he knew his shit. That's what I look for. I mean,
I traded him because he gave me the full sample pack, which is 6 cigars. Now, I bought him 6 of yours, and
those gentle, beautiful little darlings of mine. Okay, they're not. They're just cigars. They're cigars.
If you smoked them, tell us how you like them.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope you did like them, Marco. Honestly, they're not on that level as as American Viking.
He had one here with the coffee. And
so I think he liked them. He enjoyed them. Yeah, his beautiful girlfriend Vanessa, which was awesome. Nicaraguan, lovely, lovely young lady. So I like that. Like I don't want to walk into a place and be ignored. I really don't like that.
Who are you?
Exactly. I mean, it's happened even to me.
I'm like,
get out.
Yeah.
That's horrible. Can you imagine that shit? Or they follow you around so that you don't steal, but then they're not even going to talk to you about anything.
Yeah.
Oh!
We're not live.
I don't know who that is. I'll figure it out.
I'm going to do what I did to my mom. I'm going to put you in the back room. Lo voy a meter también para allá atrás.
It'll be fine.
Vete, fue esta vez.
I'll call him back.
My mom's looking at me like, I'm going to kick your ass when we leave here.
So you get the wooden spoon out.
Yeah.
It is upon the tobacconist. I don't care if you're an aficionado or a connoisseur or an educator or an influencer. It doesn't matter to me. You are a tobacconist. You're there to help everybody, man. And honestly, thank God for people like Marco and all the great tobacconists I've met and all the cigar tenders and all the people who care about what they're doing out there. Thank you. Kevin Shahan, I love him dearly. He is an amazing individual. I can never possibly say I'm choking. A wrong thing about him because he brings a fresh, new approach to our industry. He's an influencer. He is a guiding light to a lot of brands that we may not know about, we may not have ever heard about. So he is influencing the right way. He's one of those good influences, not the asshole who wants to get in trouble, with the gangbangers and the drugs and the hookers. And I'm talking about myself right now. So my bad. He's not that guy. So Kevin Shahan, man, thank you very much. I love the discourse that we went back and forth on. Steve Saka, thank you for having jumped in. Love you, man. Honestly, we are so blessed to have people like him in the industry. And to you guys, man, thank you so much always for what you do. Thank you for the cigars. We are definitely going to smoke. We're going to save those when we're together. It doesn't matter if it's not this Saturday. We're going to save them maybe next Wednesday. Yep. We can shoot for that. And then the following Saturday, we can do American Viking. We can target that. I think it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
Really looking forward to it. My God Almighty, you're not that old, but you're getting there.
I'm getting there.
You're getting there.
Almost a half century.
Happy birthday to you, my brother. You are awesome. You are truly, man. You're this. I felt it when he was in here.
Call him fat.
Yeah, I said.
I am fat.
I didn't call him fat. I love this guy. I love this guy right here, man. This is Cigar Brotherhood 101 right here. Hopefully, some of the stuff that I've been putting up on social media, you're finding it helpful, funny, things that make you go, or think about it. And that's it. Hey, Seamus, anything for the folks? Other than don't suck or whatever? I mean, I don't know.
Suck less. Yeah.
Suck less. Or
Then,
suckle out my tit. I'm sorry. That was me. No, I'm sorry, not him.
You're trying to influence him a certain way?
Yeah. Tyson Holyfield should be coming up soon. They haven't signed any contracts yet.
That's like for real? Mm-hmm. Really? I didn't know that.
I've seen it on 2 different stories.
But is it something is it like sporting things that have picked it up? Mm-hmm. Oh, that'd be fun, man. That's exciting.
ESPN2 reported on it, and someone else did. So I think It could be in the works. I don't know how soon it's going to be because they're going to need time to train, absolutely. But
Michael Carter, did we talk about how Tyson won? Exactly. Thank you. See, they didn't even, but we did talk about it. Well, you missed it. You got to backtrack.
Yeah.
Technically speaking,
yeah,
he had the fight.
mm-hmm.
I mean, technically, I saw only the first round. I couldn't find anything else. Whatever. He saw the whole fight,
Yeah.
and I respect and value his opinion highly. He is a boxer. He knows what he's looking at. I mean, well, you know about it far more than I
know
do.
what a glove looks like coming up my head.
Shut up. So
and the whole fight is actually on YouTube.
it's now on.
Yep.
Sweet.
We can definitely maybe capture some little snippets and
we watch it right now. It was like 20 minutes long.
No, we're good. We're good.
A lot of hugging.
We got to do
They
more
did.
for the future.
Yeah. So
I saw from round 1 there was a lot of hugging.
all right. So it's called a clinch, and the object of a clinch is you're trying to tire your opponent out, or if you are tired yourself,
Take a breather
right, you are resting your body on them to try and tire out their shoulders.
by adding more of your own weight to
Yes. So they have to kind of hold you up in order to keep from both of you falling down.
that. Well, shit, he was tired from round 1. I can tell you
Yeah.
that much.
One thing I did see them do in the clinch, which is kind of depending on what rules you follow, is kind of taboo, is a clinch jab, where they're leaning on each other, but they're also taking shots at each other.
Hey,
So it's kind of a taboo thing.
Tyson
You're not
has never
supposed
been
to-
one that was always like, by the book kind of guy.
But you know what? It was Roy Jones Jr. who was actually initiating a lot of that. And in the back of my mind, I kind of knew that Tyson would win just because of his fighting style.
So Jones tire him and take a couple of shots
Yes.
to even break him down a little bit more.
Right.
That's smart though. I mean, whether legal or not, but that's still fairly
Right.
smart.
So from what I got from the fight is Tyson, though he did take years without even working out at all, take years off, and then came right back in a span of a few months, and you still see the same old Tyson. You still see that tiger in the ring. It may have slowed down a little bit.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But if you listen to Roy Jones' post-fight interview, he still throws just as hard as Mike Tyson 1980.
I agree. We're gonna get a little bit deeper into that. I'm gonna see if I can get some snippets of that, and maybe for next Wednesday we'll also get a little bit more because I love a good fight, man.
Maybe we'll have more information on the whole
hell
fight.
yeah, and he's gonna keep us abreast of that. Everybody, listen, it's 7:15. We've gone above and beyond, and you don't need to put up with us anymore. Thank you to everybody that has jumped on board. As I said, if you learned something, fantastic. If you didn't, I hope you laughed and pointed fingers at us and says, what the hell do they know? They don't know anything about it. I'm okay with that too. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Last but not least, Mike, you're the birthday boy. Anything for the people?
Enjoy a good cigar.
Enjoy a good cigar. And smoke well, because we do. God bless you all. Take care. Let me see here. Do I know how to do this? Maybe not. Maybe not.